Coming out. A great day to be a Miami Hurricane, and just want to extend my congratulations to President Shalala and the University of Miami community, our administration, our Board of Trustees, and our alumni throughout the nation for our ranking in the U.S. News and World Report of 38. That's an incredible feat, given how far we've come in the last decade, and I just wanted to take a minute to acknowledge that. This is a great opportunity for our football program here Saturday night. It should be a great environment. Got an excellent football team coming in, and we'll learn a lot about ourselves. Had a good practice this morning. I think we've settled into to our depth for the game. We're excited for the challenge that the Ohio State Buckeyes bring on Saturday night. So with that, I'll open up to any questions that you have.
Al, I know for you it's just another football game, the second one of the season and all that. But for your wife, for your family, is this going to be a bigger event, the first time your family is here?
No, they're all torture for my wife. You know, we'll have family down, and you know, we're excited about the opportunity. You know, I think you know, we've practiced well the last 2 days. We've got to continue our focus, and got to get ourselves ready to play a really good football team and play a better game. You know, that's the biggest thing. I think we competed. I think we showed we're in condition. I think we showed a commitment to special teams last week. We did not protect the ball well, and we did not eliminate the penalties as we designed to do. So that's the challenge for our team this week.
As you guys got back from Maryland and broke down film and what went right and specifically what went wrong, was it encouraging for you? Because it seems like your team has been incredibly self-aware of where the mistakes were, who's responsible for them, and how they can fix them. Did that, I mean, I know you'd rather just they don't not exist at all, but did that please you a little bit that the kids seem to grasp the
I think
issues?
they understand. I think they understand where the mistakes were in the game. And again, I'm not, as I said it after the game, we had enough talent there to win. I didn't wish there was another, you know, 6'5" lineman there, or you know, a fast receiver, or anything of that nature, another running back. I think the talent we had there was sufficient to win the game. We didn't get them starting with me. We didn't perform the way we needed to perform. And again, in games like that, and those kind of environments that we had, we knew it was going to be a hornet's nest. You got to stay poised, and you got to stay ahead of the count, most particularly on offense, and we didn't do that. We got ourselves in a jam because of it. So hopefully we learned a lot about it. We built a lot of depth. We played a lot of young people in that game. We had a lot of guys who that was the first time they were a starter. They may have started a game in their career, but they didn't you know, shoulder the burden like they had to the other night. And I think we learned a lot about our team.
Al, on the depth chart last week, you had Forston and Regis on the same side, and Smith starting at the other tackle spot. Have you thought of having Regis and Forston play together? Obviously, they can, or are you going with Smith, you think, on the other?
Yeah, I mean, Smith has been playing well right now. Again, those three are kind of competing, and we'll see who ends up being the starter. And then the other competition there is Pierre and Grimmel to see who will be the fourth. So we really have two competitions going on right there, and that won't be determined until game time.
With Forston, should in your mind he be a dominant D tackle as he goes into his final year here?
Sure. If he had done, you know, the off-season program, if he had participated all summer, if he was full go all camp, and if he wasn't suspended for the, you know, for the opener and the 9 practices that, you know, corresponded with that. So hopefully he's got, you know, he's in better condition right now than he was. And hopefully he's back in the groove. So again, I think he's playing better right now. It's going to be a great opportunity for him to show what he's capable of, and we're excited to watch him.
Coach, obviously your job is to lead the team on the field, so you're not paying focus to that. But the fact that the school came out today and said no more boosters are going to be allowed on the sideline, your thoughts on that?
And again, that's an administrative decision. I got enough to worry about. I mean, you saw the tape, right? I mean, I got a lot of things that we have to fix here, so I'm not really worried about that.
Coach, how confident are you that there was enough improvement, you know, over this week in the things that you had to correct?
Well, again, you know, the ultimate test is going to be Saturday against an excellent football team. You know, it's a team that doesn't beat itself. It hasn't beat itself, and it's a rugged team. It's a physical team. They protect the ball well, and they take it away. So, you know, the proof will be in the pudding Saturday night. That's the challenge, you know, and I welcome the challenge. I welcome the opportunity. I hope our kids feel the same way.
Hey, Al, have you tried to get more physical with your linemen in practice, you know, for a game like this, any more so than usual? Or?
No, I think we're trying to be physical. You know, one of the issues last week with our offensive output was we didn't get enough stops on defense, number one. And number two, you know, we turned it over, and we had some penalties that killed drives. So I would have liked to have shown a more physical approach on offense last week, but we got behind the count. And then clearly our last 2 drives were 2-minute drives. So, but we're not changing how we approach it. And I think you know, one of the things I took from the game was that every time, you know, we got punched, we counterpunched. And I think that's good. I think you can't do that unless you're a physical team and unless you're a competitive team. And I saw that, so hopefully we can build on that, Gary.
Now, both programs have storied histories. They're legendary programs. But the reality is they've had some problems. Do you feel that some of the luster has come off this game because of recent losses?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, you know, clearly we both had some missteps here and that we're trying to overcome, but that's not going to erase that tradition. That's not going to erase all the great players that have played here. That's not going to erase what the institutions mean. And certainly not going to diminish what it means to our fans and to our alumni and to football fans in the city of Miami and in South Florida. Our job is to go out there and play hard, play with passion, play with energy, and get ourselves ready and prepared for this challenge. And that's really all we can focus on.
Al, Corey was in here talking about the different elements that Travis brings to a game, even without catching the ball, how he draws defenses and everything else. How much of a luxury is it going to be to have him back on the field, and what elements does he bring that open up things for you?
Well, again, I mean, it's for him, he's lost a game already in his senior year, so I'm sure there's some urgency on his part to go out there. I don't want him to press or anything like that, but certainly you can make a case he'll be the fastest player on the field Saturday night. So he's a guy who can stretch the field, who can beat you deep, and he's not. Sometimes when a guy's fast, he's just a straight line guy. He's really not that. That's not what Travis is. Travis can make people miss and can do things with the ball in his hands. So it's our job to get it to him, and hopefully he'll come up big for us.
Now, seeing Chantrell on the bike at least the last couple of days and noticeable changes in his size and all that, do you have a more clear time frame now as to when he might be back with you?
I don't. I think we're on track with Chantrell. I think if you ever need to shoot B-roll of Chantrell on a bike. It's pretty amusing. But I think he's making a lot of progress, to be honest with you. So I'm pleased with him, and I know he's excited. I think he can sense now that it's closer than he thought. So I'm not really playing games with you. I don't know what that means because I'm not the doctor and I'm not going to sign off on it. They'll tell us when he's ready to go, but you can sense. I mean, he's out there Sunday running around, and so I think he gets the sense that it's going to be sooner rather than later.
Can you talk about the challenges of their tight end?
Their tight end,
yeah.
Excellent football player. He's got good length. Can make all the catches. Can make the tough catches across the middle. Can run the in cuts. Gets down the seam and can open up his hips and catch a back shoulder pad, which he did last week. Can also catch the corner routes. He knows when to sit down versus zone. He knows when to run away and break free versus man. So. Very, very good tight end, excellent tight end, complete player. And, for us, we're going to have to make sure we have the right matchups on him. And obviously, don't give them a lot of time to get him the ball. But he's definitely one of the keys for us on defense this week.
Publicly, anyway, they've said that both quarterbacks, that Luke expects both quarterbacks to play this week. Because I know just in the limited tape you have from weeks 1 and 2, scheme change much with
it does. Yeah, it's when Braxton's in there, it looks a little bit more like it did last year when Joe's running the show. Again, Joe's very efficient. He's over 70% completion percentage, I think, for his career. No interceptions, this far, so he knows what to do with the football. Distributes it. They will take shots, certainly when Joe is the quarterback. Not that they won't with the other kid, but it just sets up different from a personnel standpoint, and it would be more vertical passes rather than shots. So we'll get ready for both of them. We'll see what Saturday night brings, but we're expecting both of them to be in the game.
On the penalties, a lot has been made about them. How, as a coach, do you go about trying to fix it, and how do the players themselves on the field fix those
Well,
those mental
the
errors?
first thing is to look at them and say, okay, what were the issues? You know, were the issues in communication? Were the issues in, did we not understand the immediacy of the play clock a couple times? It's simple things. And then did we pay attention to details in terms of the formation? Because we had several of those too. So you're talking about delayed game, you're talking about substitution, and you're talking about alignments. And those are things that we did not see going into that game, and they better get fixed. And again, that starts with me. There's no excuses there with me, and most particularly on the offensive side, our coordinators and our coaches. We cannot allow that to happen. So, like many of the people watching the game, we felt blindsided by that because it was not something that we saw as being an issue going into the game in terms of the operation. So we've got to get that fixed. Again, we believe Jacory gives us the best opportunity there with his maturity, getting us in the right formation, getting us in the right call, and making sure that we get the snap off in time. But there's no excuse for anybody that plays quarterback at the University of Miami or calls a play for University of Miami not to get that squared away.
Someone emerged in the Mike Williams, Lee Chambers battle through this week of practice, and also what does McGee need to do to use his speed to be more effective playing corner?
I thought McGee actually has made a lot of progress. He got beat off the press, late in that game the other day, and again, the O'Brien kid made just an absolutely perfect throw. But I think I think McGee has made a lot of progress. I think he's working harder. He's a little bit more mature. He's fighting through some discomfort a little bit, which is helping his game. And on the other side, it's a good battle. Again, those are both guys that are hungry to play. They haven't played, a lot of football. Certainly not here at the University of Miami. And both those guys are scratching and clawing to play. And it looks like they'll share time going into the game.
Your thoughts on Jimmy Gaines' play there in the middle and how he's progressing?
Jimmy Gaines played like a Miami Hurricane. And Jimmy Gaines' first play and last play looked the same. I think we looked at, for Jimmy, I think we looked at play 1, we looked at play 33, and we looked at play, 72, and they all looked the same. He played with excellent speed, great conditioning. He was relentless to the football, and he's one of the models for us right now on defense in terms of how we want it to look. We need more guys to look like that. We need more guys to have that kind of consistency. Jimmy approaches the game. He's a cerebral player. He's a smart player. And again, we're excited about his future.
Al, the first time you saw Jacory live, I would imagine, was at Sun Bowl. He throws 3 picks in 7 attempts. How have you seen him, and where have you seen him improve since that first?
Again, I just think it's a different. I think it's a different time and place. I think he's a different player. Again, Jacory's the guy this Saturday. He's established that. He's had a great camp. He's had a great demeanor. Again, sometimes we don't let people grow. We don't let them develop. And we just want to go back and look at the things that they did wrong. I think let's look at the things that he's done right in terms of the off-season program, in terms of his approach, in terms of his unselfishness, in terms of his competitive nature, in terms of his command of the offense, and all those things. And I know you guys, where you sit, show me, Coach. Well, I really believe Jacory's going to show us all Saturday night. He's done a great job, and I just want him to go out and relax and play his game. Don't make it bigger than it is, and do what he's been doing now for since we've been here. So I'm excited for Jacory, and I know in my heart he deserves this opportunity Saturday night.
Coach, this is the first time you're going to be running through that tunnel, through that smoke and sunlight.
Yeah. What's
going to be going through your head?
I don't even know where the tunnel is, so someone's going to point me to the tunnel. I don't really get too caught up in that stuff, Jan. So, I mean, when they point me to the tunnel, I'll start running. But I hope the team sprints out. Again, we're excited. This is why you come to the University of Miami, play games like this. And I hope our fans are excited. And we want to have a team that plays hard. And we got to play, like I said, we got to play smart. We got to play